Well, the state of Louisiana is planning to sue the Biden administration over its last-minute offshore drilling ban. And while it doesn't extend to their shores, it could have major implications for Louisiana's economy, because that is one of the top states in crude oil reserves and productions, and home to half the storage sites for our strategic petroleum reserves. So it's very important. Here to discuss this pending lawsuit is Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrill. Liz, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm doing okay, but I'm sure, and we heard from President Trump a couple of days ago, on the way out, Joe Biden's trying to stab him in the back when it comes to his plan to, on day one, drill, baby, drill. Now with Joe Biden, it's kind of like, you got to go to court first.
Well, it's kind of one last kick in the gut before he walks out the door. And we've been fighting these policies from the day he took office and started this assault on the oil and gas industry. And, Louisiana certainly has been a leader in that fight, and I'll continue to do that. We just, can't let this kind of action stand.
Right. And Donald Trump has said that as soon as he takes office, he will, get rid of it. But it's not that easy because the way the Biden people put it in, it's pretty much law. That's why you're filing the lawsuit. So the lawsuit comes out, let's say next week. The Biden administration would defend their position in court. But then when Donald Trump takes over, suddenly you got the Trump people at the DOJ. That's probably going to be a different outcome, you would think.
Well, it is kind of interesting. I think there could be an interesting delegation problem with the way that Congress has handed this power over to the president, which he can exercise purely by executive order and then not have it challenged any other way. We certainly will ask and hope that Congress acts quickly to undo this, but we will litigate those issues and make sure that we're not just standing idly by waiting to see if Congress can do something.
Right. Louisiana, as you know, has been in the news. It was just a week or so ago that there was that terrible Bourbon Street massacre. And I know you're calling for an investigation into what went wrong, because had the security barriers been up, it would have been completely different. What's the status of this?
Well, my review is just starting, and that's going to be a methodical process of collecting documents and interviews and looking at other studies that have been done in that area to kind of get a better understanding of how we got here, kind of inside the political and legal and cultural structure in New Orleans. And I think that, what we want to do is kind of walk through it carefully and see all of the different influences that kind of led us to the place that we are at today. And I can tell you that there's substantial changes that have been put in place leading into the Super Bowl, but we want to make sure that we're making some permanent changes when all those federal resources are gone.
Absolutely, because that one of those fixed barriers was broken for a very long time. Everybody knew it wasn't working, and that is the vulnerability that the driver took advantage of. Liz Murrill, the Attorney General for the great state of Louisiana. Liz, thank you very much.
Thanks so much for having me.
You bet. I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.